Motor Oil's SS2000 class. With me is the series coordinator, Terry O'Brien. Terry, what does SS2000 mean?
Basically, SS2000 is the old leftover vehicle from the old Shell Sport 2-litre class that was run quite a few years ago. Basically, for any saloon cars up to 2 litre.
But it's quite interesting that there's some Evo Lancers in the class as well.
Yeah, we have an open class which allows four-wheel drive turbo cars to enter. They're limited to 18-pound boost. They have a weight limit of 1,180 kgs and run on dot tyres, which is basically a road tyre.
Race 1 of the SS2000 brought to you by Motor Oil, and Point to Point was based on qualifying positions. It was the fastest man away in first, and that's Mike Crawford. You ride with him here. Chasing him hard and making a welcome return to SS2000 was Brett Phillip in the Mazda RX-7. Early going, it was all the Mitsubishi Lancer of Crawford. So a 1600cc class, a 2-litre class, and an open class, and then two lots of Honda Challenge classes. And some of the Hondas were having a bit of a problem with the slippery circuit here at Taupo. Brent Phillip was getting very racy in his RX-7, passing Crawford, but along the back straight, it was Crawford that just had the horsepower advantage and went back into the front as they came into the complex. There was plenty of action further back in the field, and as we've come to expect with the SS2000 class, the racing was cutthroat and close quarters. And sometimes the spinning seemed to have been choreographed. Meantime, back at the front, it was still Mike Crawford leading Brent Phillip in the RX-7. Phillip, of course, the Toyota's Pro 7 national champion. But the man with the horsepower, as he approaches nearly 180, 190 kilometres an hour into the big sweeper here for the last time, is Michael Crawford, and he has got a problem. He has got problems for the Mitsubishi, and that allows Brent Phillip to go through and take the win unchallenged. So a great start to the competition for Brent Phillip. Not such a good start for Nathan Strachan, car number 35. Mike Crawford would hold on for second place and gain valuable points in the 7-round championship, but Brent Phillip draws first blood in the Motor Oil's Point to Point 2000 race 1. So official results see Brent Phillip on top from Mike Crawford in second place, with Kevin Hyde through in third. Fourth place was Kane Wormsley, and in fifth it was Rick Bone. Further down through the field, have a look at the performance of Dave Geraghty in the other Lancer in the field. He was 10th, Eric Butt 11th, and Phil Noblet was 12th in the Honda.
Brett, that was a really, really good race from the outside. I don't know what it was like from your point of view.
It was pretty hard work, all right, I tell you. Yeah, we had some really good battles in the opening laps, and I got past Mike in the Mitzi, and then he got back past me, passed again, and then I was really just hunting him down, trying to stay with him for the rest of the race, and he had a problem at the top corner, and we come through for the win. It was awesome.
Well, if we have a look at the grids for race 2, it is a handicapped late start, and on pole position it is Glenn Martin in the Nissan Sentra. 15 seconds later will be Jordan Burley, and then a further 20 seconds to Adrian O'Donnell. Further down through the field, we'll watch for the fast boys at the back. None quicker than Michael Crawford. He will start at the back. So I'm joined in commentary by the 3-time national champion in the SS2000 class, Tony Goldsmith. And Tony, I guess you got itchy feet about now. You'd like to be out there.
Oh, it's always hard to be sitting here watching this. But what a great field. 35 cars, magic for our first round. Great.
Well, that's right. The class just seems to go from strength to strength as we see the quicker cars starting to get away now. Tell us quickly about the classes we'll see out here. I know you've got an open class, but you've also got a 1600 class as well.
Yeah, 1600 class is mainly dominated by the Civics, a couple of Sentras in there. Later cars will be the 2 litres coming through here now. And at the back we'll have the Evos, more of the open class cars.
Got some problems there early on. We just saw an Escort pulling off, but it's a Nissan Sentra out in the front, and that is car number 59, and that's Glenn Martin, and he's brand new to the class. Well, number 77 isn't. This is Martin Dunn. And Tony, he scooped the pole, didn't he, at the awards banquet, because not only did he win the Honda class, but he won the Sportsman of the Year as well.
Yeah, that's right. Martin's a bit of a character, and we need those people in our classes, that's for sure.
Well, look at the handicap that the fast boys are getting, because they're just getting away now. There is number 2, Rick Bone. Now, he won the 1600 class last year and finished second overall in the champion. And there is Crawford. And I think, just having a look, he's probably giving them the best part of a minute and a half. You're on board with Michael Crawford as he heads into turn 1 here at Taupo. He's got a pretty hard road ahead of him, I think, Tony.
Yeah, let's see how he gets through the field after doing some makeshift repairs to his gearbox. Let's hope it all stays together this time.
Well, this is the battle at the front of the field, and it is Glenn Martin in the Nissan leading, getting a little bit of close quarters attention now from the man in second place, another new man, and he's going to go into the front as they come into the complex, but Martin just shuts the door, but that's Jordan Burley, and he came from the third row, and he's already up into second place. Big fields here in the SS2000, and here it is, the pass as they go across the stripe to complete one lap, and it is Burley in the front now. Martin goes back into second, and they've got a healthy advantage back to third. We're on board here with Mike Crawford, and he's heading to the pits.
Well, that doesn't look too good, does it?
So once again, drama for the man that was third in the championship last year. His race looks like it is all but run.
I wonder if that'll be the end of his weekend.
This is the race leader, Jordan Burley, working his way through the infield here, this tight and twisty section here at Taupo. He's caught a few of them. Caught a few in race number 1. Not going to catch Jordan Burley, though. Comes from a rallying background, so this is his first time on the tarmac. Car number 30 there, looking resplendent in its zebra painting job is Phil Brown, another one of the top runners. Tim Pollard makes his debut in the SS2000. Special occasion for Tim and a special occasion for the SS2000 because Tim, of course, the proprietor of Motul Oils.
It's true, and he helped us out last year as well. Got a very nice car there that just imported from Japan.
So just ahead of Pollard at the moment is the number 30, and that is Phil Brown. And they're slowly but surely making their way to the front here. The race leader still continues to be Jordan Burley, and he's, well, he must be cutting the handicapper's front lawn, I think, Tony, because he's got a bit of a march on the rest of the field.
Yeah, he'll be running now, won't he? Better have a look at the handicappers, I think.
Bit of close quarter racing going on behind him there with Matt Dovey. Just starting to rub the door handles off his opposition. Into the big sweeper they come, and look at this. It looks like the Southern Motorway on a Friday night in traffic jams.
It's getting pretty busy in there.
It certainly is. Down the back straight they come once again. And just having a look for the faster boys, looking out there for Kevin Hyde in the Nissan-powered BMW. Just see him circulating at the back at the moment.
Darren Greenslade coming through there now.
Greenslade, of course, started his motorsport career in SS2000s, then went to the sports sedans, and now back in SS2000s, which is fantastic. Just got a glimpse there of Martin Dunn, so he's starting to make his presence felt as well. Sportsman of the Year last year in the SS2000 class. This is the race leader, though, and he's getting away from the rest of the field here, Tony.
Looks like he's doing a bit of rallying there, doesn't it?
Well, he comes from a rallying background. I'm sure he's more used to probably being on the gravel and the grass than on the tarmac, but he's doing a fantastic job of it at the moment. Glenn Martin just holding up a couple of the competitors here. That's the battle for second, third, fourth and fifth. Now, you've been a multiple champion in this class, and I guess it's hard in these handicap races when you're approaching cars in front of you that are going half the speed.
Yeah, especially the new guys that aren't looking in their mirrors. It's very hard to predict what they're doing. But that's all right, when you've got a bit of pace on, you can slip through there.
Well, this man's got a bit of pace on. This is Jordan Burley out in the front.
He's definitely got a good gap, hasn't he?
Yes, he's running away with this a little bit. I think there's been a change for second and third. Number 99 moving up there is David Geraghty, and the second of the Lancers in the field. That's an Evo 1, but it's a quick car. But I'll tell you what, Martin Dunn wants to argue the spot as they work into the big sweeper at the top end of the circuit here, and the little Honda's going to come out ahead of the Lancer. Might be a different story when they get the throttle down along the big back straight. Here comes the Hydrolink Lancer, so they're making a move through. 30, Phil Brown's getting up into the top five now.
Dirt back there?
Oh, someone's gone off
What's
as
going
they
on back there?
came out of the Fisher and Paykel turn as it was in the A1GP.
That wasn't Kevin Hyde, was it?
I don't know if it was Heidi.
He's
He
used
was
to
a
playing in
red
the dirt,
car.
though, isn't he?
Well, that's right. He's a bit of a sensation, Kevin Hyde. He's won the New Zealand three-quarter midget title. He's won the New Zealand midget car title. He's yet to win the sprint car title, but he's still trying, I think.
A bit of a legend, eh?
A legend in his own lunchtime,
Yeah.
Kevin Hyde. There is Geraghty in the 98, the Hydrolink car, and off he goes. He just gets it all wrong.
Talking about rally driving?
Well, he saved it brilliantly because he put it in the gravel, and it's pretty deep there. He's got out of it. He's probably used the four-wheel drive, and he's going to rejoin the circuit just in behind Glenn Martin. So all that good work is all undone as he comes down the outside of Martin now, and he's taken to the grass again, Tony. Well, he's a little bit ragged.
Martin gave him room on the other side.
And you would think that he should be able to get past Martin without too much problem at all. No taking away from Glenn Martin, but he's an absolute rookie in an underpowered car compared to the Lancer.
Just wait for the straight, hey, and he's gone.
Just got a glimpse here of Rick Bones, so he's starting to come through as well. This battle just inside the top 5 now. There's the 111 of Brock Cooley just in behind him. It's the number 30, that's Phil Brown. This is the race leader though. Car number 95, as we said, a newcomer to the SS2000s.
Maybe starting to close him down a bit, eh?
Oh, look at the traffic behind him. There's Kevin Hyde. First time we get a glance of the Herb Morgan Tyres BMW. Then right in behind him, it's Richard G, number 34 in the Honda, and another Honda in the form of Trevor Strong in behind him. But this is what's happening at the front of the field. Now, is Brock Cooley going to be able to run down Jonathan Burley? Because it's Burley heading into the complex. And look at the lead he's got.
It's a big ask for them, isn't it?
It is, but you would think the Mitsubishi's probably got a whole lot more power. Phil Brown through in 3rd place. Just got to look there at Darren Greenslade. He's back there in 4th or 5th at the moment, but across the stripe goes this man, and it's the last lap. And I tell you what, Bruce Cooley's going to have to do something pretty soon if he wants to shut this guy down. He can't do it at the moment, and Darren Greenslade looks very racy.
Need a couple of long straights and they'll be easy, won't they?
Well, that's right. Expert comments and opinion coming from multi-time champion in SS2000, sitting this year out, and that is Tony Goldsmith, as we see another good move there from Martin Dunn. But it's all a little bit too little too late, because this man, well, he's got the dead right handicap. He got into the front in the 2nd lap, and he stayed there. And look at this, he's showboating for the crowd here, Tony, getting it a bit sideways.
Keep your cool on it. Oh, actually, they're all down. Is there oil down there?
Well, maybe there is a problem.
Kieran come through there sideways as well.
Dead right, there could be a problem there. Number 22, Phil Norbert, looks pretty good though. In the Surtees trailer Honda, he's doing a good job, but no one's doing a better job than this man, flashing down past the fastest part of the racetrack here at Taupo now. This is Jordan Burley, 2nd place man, Brock Cooley, and he's running out of time. 51 doing a good job, Kane Wormsley. Just in behind him, it's a little starlet, and that's Darren Greenslade. Meantime, this is the action at the front of the field, and Jordan Burley is holding on to it, and Tony Goldsmith, I think he's going to do it.
I'll wait for the horsepower of the Evos, though.
Well, that's right. Brock Cooley, you'd think, has got much more power as they come down the long back straight here at Taupo. Phil Brown's under a bit of pressure as well, because coming up on him is Kane Wormsley.
He's lost that position.
Wormsley dives down to the inside under brake, so he moves into 3rd, but we are hearing from the officials that Wormsley will receive a jump start penalty of 10 seconds, so that'll put him further down the order. But for the moment, he'll cross the stripe in 3rd. And what about this bloke? Jordan Burley is going to win race 2 of the SS2000. 2nd place will be Brock Cooley, and in 3rd place it will be Phil Brown, because as we said, number 51 is going to receive that 10-second penalty. Well, that's the way the judges saw it as well, and Wormsley, although he crossed the line in 3rd on track position, goes back to 10th overall. What a drive, though, for Jordan Burley. He wins race number 2 of the SS2000. Further down through the page, have a look for Trevor Strong in 12th place, and Kevin Hyde finally finishes in 14th.
Jordan, you come from a rally background, I believe, first time on a racetrack, and you come through with a win.
Yeah, sure did. It was a little bit different, sort of sitting in the front of the field waiting for everyone to come around and checking my mirrors every lap, and no one was coming up.
Very interesting class, the Motor Oils SS2000. All sorts of cars. We've got Mitsubishi Evos, Toyota Corollas, Honda Integras, but one of the very interesting cars is with me here, Kevin Hyde, a BMW. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, it's a E30 BMW we've turned into a M3 lookalike, really. It's got the M3 box cards on it, and from the original car there's not really too much left. It's got SR20 Nissan in it, sort of 370 odd horsepower, and the class is a really good class for a big mixture of different vehicles, and there's different weight categories, as well as some are allowed groove tyres, some are on slicks, and so it makes it for a lot of fun.
But if the rain comes down, I guess it would suit the four-wheel drive, boys.
Yeah, well, Mike that we're sharing the shed with, he's a four-wheel drive, so we'll unhook one drive shaft of his and make it a bit more of a level playing field would be good. But four-wheel drives obviously really get going in the wet, but this thing's pretty exciting to ride in the wet, I tell you too.
So once again, for the 3rd and final race of the Motor Oils point-to-point SS2000s, it's a handicap affair, and Glenn Martin will sit on pole position. 2nd row will be Adrian O'Donnell and Mike Connolly. Once again, look for the fast boys at the back. Mike Crawford, Kevin Hyde will start 3 rows from the back, 1 minute and 18 after the limit man goes. The handicap situation, Tony, it must be tough for guys like you, because they probably used to penalise you about half a lap, but it's a chance for the lesser lights, if you like, to shine.
No, it's probably more than half a lap. But there's a lot of cars to get through in this field.
Well, once again, we see that Glenn Martin is away first. This is the ex-Shane Morgan Nissan Sentra. And Shane Morgan out here in a new car this season as well, Tony.
That's true. He brought himself another Sentra with a bit more horsepower and a bit more fancy new parts in it, and he's out there doing better this year.
So there is Martin away first. Well, this car's used to starting the handicaps off the front because we saw that many, many times last season. Phil Brown gets away now, looking for the quicker Lancers, and of course the little Datsun of Rick Bone. Kevin Hyde there as well. He's about 3 rows from the back. Here is the man that won race number 2, and this is Jordan Burley. Meantime, we're still to see the fast boys get away, and here is the leader. Back again. Wormsley leads this bunch through. There is Bone, and some problems out there for car number 34. Well, we saw him having a few problems in race number 2 as well. Hopefully he can get back out on the racetrack and continue. This is a good little scrap here, Tony.
Yeah, looks like Rick's going around the outside. He's got a very nimble car, and it's quite a nice package.
Well, he won the 1600 class in last year's SS2000 championship.
And he came second overall as well.
And second overall, and that is a tribute to his driving more than anything. This is Wormsley in the 51. Remember, he received the jump start penalty after race 2, put him back to 10th place in the overall results, and that's going to hurt his championship. Boy, that car's got a fair bit of toe as he gets it a little bit sideways coming out of the corner.
It's got some power, isn't it?
1 lap down, and it is still Mr. Martin out in the front. This is Rick Bone. This car's got quite a history, hasn't it, Tony?
This car's definitely been around the class for a very long time. It was originally built by Ben Cox, and they eventually parted with it, gave it to Rick, and he's looked after it very well.
Well, they're heading down the long back straight here at Taupo. There is Rick Bone in the number 2. Just up ahead of him, it's the 51 of Kane Wormsley. Well, there is Shane Morgan. This is a new car for Shane this season. It is a Sentra right in behind him. It is Scott Smith in the little Honda. So great little freight trainer cars. This is toward the front of the field. This is just inside the top 10. In fact, this is the battle for 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. Race leader continues to be Mr. Martin, Glenn Martin, out in the front. Shane Morgan just holding off this little gaggle of race cars for the moment.
Slowly picking his way through them, isn't he?
Well, I guess that's what it's all about, although Ray Williams always says to me in a handicap situation, you want to get as far up the field as quickly as possible. Matt Dovey trying to do that at the moment. You just saw the Lancer there of Brock Cooley just tagging onto the back of this bunch, so he'll want to clear them as quick as possible because there's faster cars coming. Got a glimpse then of Phil Brown. 111 is Cooley, though, as they go down past the fastest part of the racetrack here at Taupo, past the old clubhouse when it was a 1.4 kilometre circuit. Nowadays it's 3.5 kilometres. Cooley just looking for racing room there and really can't find it. Just get pushed a little bit wide. This is the race leader, though, into the complex once again. Glenn Martin continues to lead it. And look at the speed difference here. Cooley looking for racing room down the inside. He'll pick up probably 2 or 3 spots here, I think, Tony.
It's looking pretty good, isn't it?
Well, he's another one that started well back on the 6th or 7th row. He's just going to have to concede the spot just for a little while longer there, and that's allowed Matt Dovey to move up. Dovey in the 57, Cooley once again looking for racing room. There might be a different story as they come across the stripe here. Another lap down in the 3rd and final race of the day of the SS2000s, brought to you by Motor Oil and Point to Point, the new sponsor for this season.
It's like Noel Anderson's just gone down the inside there. He's about 110, is Noel. He loves his racing.
That's him in the HPM Honda. Number 54, here is Brown just getting up ahead of him. Gee, they're taking a while to get around Dovey, and they just can't find a way around him at the moment. And that slowed the progress of Brock Cooley. I'm sure he didn't think he'd be just slowed down as much as he was. Al Stewart there in the 18, looking for racing room. Brett Killip as well. And these guys have come from way, way back. The distinctive little Honda there of Al Stewart. He didn't have a pretty happy run in the 2nd race, but he looks like he's going better this time round, Tony.
He'd be a lot happier this time, for sure.
We've just got a glimpse of the Hydrolink Lancer there of Geraghty, so they're all starting to queue up, trying to get around this traffic jam ahead of them. And you see this faster group now have already caught Cooley. So Cooley, because he was caught behind those slower cars, it's cost him big time. Brown looking for racing room up the inside of Anderson. Oh, they say Rubbin's racing, and I think there's a bit of rubbing going on there. Brown should have too much on the long back straight. Well, there is the man in second place, and that's Jordan Burley. He won race number 2. Race leader continues to be Glenn Martin. Let's just see what happens as the quicker boys come to this party as well. Here comes Brown down the inside, and Cooley's going to go with him. And they're going to force Anderson wider, are they? Anderson, he's not having a bar of it in the HPM car. He thrusts the Honda back into position, so he goes in front of Cooley. So it isn't as easy as probably Brock Cooley thought it was going to be. And while he's wasting his time getting around these slower cars, the faster guys are starting to come towards him. And that is the likes of car number 98, and that is Dave Garrity. Watch for him. Anderson continues to thwart them. Here's a glimpse of the 19. That's Tim Pollard making his SS2000 debut here. Phil Brown looking for racing room. He wants to get away from this gaggle of cars if he can help it. There is Noel Anderson, and still Cooley can't get around him. You'll see him in the back of this shot. Well, for some reason, Cooley can't get around, but Garrity certainly can. So he leapfrogs Cooley and moves up a spot now. Now he's got to contend with Noel Anderson. This is all happening down in about 8th, 9th and 10th place. Meantime, out in the front, last time we looked, it was still Glenn Martin in the front. Burley in second place. I think it'll be that way again as we concentrate on this intriguing battle here. Oh, the big lock up from the leader into the big sweeper here at Taupo. And I think we might have a change for second. It might now be the 45 car of Adrian O'Donnell. We'll have a look for it. Here is Rick Bone arguing about a space, and he goes from the inside to the outside. Well, that's a racing move and a half, Tony Goldsmith. That's a Goldsmith move, isn't it?
He's doing all right, isn't he?
Well, he is. He's carried the speed through the sweeper, and it's going to mean extra spaces as they come down the long back straight.
You should see a little horsepower get in here now.
Here, watch for Brown to make a move. Sneaking down the inside, and he's just outbraked himself, and that's going to cost him a little bit, I think. Shane Morgan comes right back at him.
He's done all right, though, isn't he?
Well, he recovered it. I don't know how he did it.
Oh, who's that?
Oh, and that is Burley getting sideways. Well, we said he was a rally driver. He knows all about backing it in, and that's what he did there. Still holds on to second place. Then it's Brown. Then it's Morgan. Then it's Garrity. Out in the front, it is still Glenn Martin. Is he going to do it again, Tony? Are we going to see 2 wins from the rookie here?
Well, he's got the gap, isn't he?
He certainly has, and he's holding it for the moment. This is car number 66. This is Kylie Jury.
It's definitely a fast car.
Well, the one we got to watch for is Garrity, David Garrity. He's come from, well, back in the 8th row, so toward the very back. But the car's certainly got some pace. Too much pace for Rick Bone today, I think. Here's Phil Brown. Now, he is already up into 3rd place because just up ahead of him, it is Burley. Well, they're nose to tail now. Brown down the inside takes the spot away, and going with him is David Garrity. So Garrity on a charge towards the front of the field. Locked to the bumper of Phil Brown here. Glenn Martin, the next one they'll come across. And look at the speed difference, Tony.
It's amazing, isn't it? The old full-time campaigners are finally coming through.
Well, that's right. And Garrity now in front of Brown as they go into the sweeper. Laps running out here in the 3rd and final SS2000 race of the weekend here at Taupo. It's a traditional starter. It's a 7-round series, and it is Dave Garrity into the front now in the Hydrolink Lancer, and there's nothing Phil Brown can do about it. Good run coming from Shane Morgan. Obviously got more power, or somebody going off onto the grass in the background there. Gets it back onto the black stuff. Oh, and problems here for Brett Killip in the 12, and also for the 18, and that is Al Stewart. Now in the closing stages of this one, are we going to see a safety car? Let's hope not. The racing's been clean and furious so far. Here is David Garrity. There is the finish line. Right in behind him, it is Phil Brown. Checkered flag flies, and Garrity gets his first win of the 2008-2009 season. So official confirmation sees Dave Garrity in the Mitsubishi Lancer take the win from Phil Brown, and Shane Morgan coming up for 3rd. 4th place was the man that led most of it. That was Glenn Martin. Great performance from Noel Anderson in 9th place, and Brent Thompson through in 10th in the number 72. 77, Martin Dunn through in 11th.
David, you come from a long way back.
I did. It was a bit of a mission starting from back about 15th place, I think it was, and working my way through the pack. Bit of a good race, good result for the end of the day, though. Very, very happy.